My name's Colin and I'm hoping to run an ultramarathon every month in 2023.
And my name's Andrew, Colin's brother, and I'm going to be joining them for half a marathon during his ultra run every month. This is Idiots Go Running.
Episode 4, the February run.
Well, Colin, we're back with another podcast. This is Wednesday night. We did our February run on Saturday. That was Saturday the 25th of February. We were meant to do a podcast on Monday night, and I think I pushed it back this time, did I?
I think you pushed it back and I forgot, so it was a mix between the two of us.
I pushed it back and you forgot. And then what happened last night? Last night was Tuesday night, the 28th of February.
Last night was Tuesday, yeah, so...
You forgot last night.
I forgot 2 nights in a row, didn't I?
I'm not sure, Colin.
I don't know.
It's only Wednesday night.
We're really on the ball.
So it was pushed back from Monday night. It was pushed back last night, definitely last night, because I think you forgot about it, and we thought we'll record it at Wednesday night. And normally we try to record these at around 9:30, but it could push back even further tonight. Why was that, Colin?
Man United match, wasn't it?
So you were watching Man United at your house. It was Manchester United against West Ham United in the FA Cup 5th round, and I was watching Man United at my house, and I phoned you earlier just to say, Colin, can we push the podcast back to after this match? You phoned me and this isn't a football podcast, but we're talking, so we'll just continue. You phoned me in the 92nd minute, returning my call.
I think it was 80 odd minute. I think it was 80 odd minute, and my feed...
You're right, sorry.
My feed's slightly ahead of yours, so I was streaming the football, and I must have been about 3 or 4 seconds ahead of you, and you said, let's wait to the end of the match, and I said, it's only a couple of minutes left. And then United scored, I start cheering, and Andrew's not cheering.
And then 10 seconds after, because my stream must be delayed, I started cheering also. So they were 2-1 up. They were 1-0 down, then it went 2-1 up, and then finally it finished 3-1.
Yeah.
But we're not, thankfully it didn't go into extra time, or we would be recording this podcast even later on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So back to the run. So we did the run on Saturday. This is Wednesday night. We're now into March, believe it or not, and we're talking about the February run. So Colin, tell me about your day. How did your run start on the Saturday morning?
Really, really good. So once a month, my boys all go out to play. They all have to go with Rachel, my wife, to play football. So she's great. She looks after the boys and gets them to play football and allows me to go out for 6 to 7 hours on a run. So Rachel starts Saturday morning early and she goes to the gym and she comes back in. When she comes back into the gym, I'm kitted up, ready to go. This morning, I think I left about 8:30, half an hour later than I expected to leave.
You expected to leave at 8 then, I make that?
Yeah. And then guess what I did, Andrew?
You ran?
I ran. But then my watch started beeping. Guess what it was saying? Energy saving mode. Same as last week. Forgot.
Do you know what? I knew this happened.
Yep.
I knew this happened because, your morning started, or your run started at 8:30, but I actually got up at 9 o'clock on Saturday. So the first thing I see in my phone is a wee text message or a wee WhatsApp at 8:30 saying Colin's run has started and I can follow you on Garmin. And I could see the first half mile, was it maybe? First mile?
Always a half mile. It's like the watch can tell. It goes, this guy's ran a half mile. I'll give him a wee nudge. So it goes on the energy saver mode to obviously save the battery. But the Garmin watches, not a plug for Garmin watches, are amazing for the battery. Because
it did look, we'll cut this out of the podcast, but Man United's just been drawn against Fulham in the FA Cup quarterfinals at home.
That's okay. Thanks for telling me.
Just letting you know that. Who knows? It might make it into the podcast.
I don't know. That was I could make it into the podcast because that was a podcast voice draw from the FA Cup.
The FA Cup quarterfinal, Manchester United versus Fulham.
Yeah, but everyone will know that by now.
I noticed about must have been half mile, I thought, the same thing's happened. You haven't started your watch, and that turned out to be the case.
Yeah, so it didn't start my watch, but now I think it's just becoming the part of it. Let's not count the first half mile. Started running. The start of the run is always, I find, quite tedious because you're running about Belfast, you're running beside cars, and then until you really get off into the country roads, that's when it really starts. For me personally, it really starts to get fun. You start to see different things, weird things going on in the country. And it was funny, I would say, on the country roads, we passed, I lost count of the amount of tractors that drove past me. It was scary. So run was going okay, and then I started to get this sensation that I thought, oh no, what? You were in a bit too much of a hurry. So Vaselined my ankles. They were all perfect. Vaselined underneath my arms because it kind of rub. And then I forgot to Vaseline areas that we dare not speak of. So Andrew, what do you do when you forget the Vaseline somewhere and you start? It was about 13 miles, I think. And I started to get this.
Was it a decent distance?
Yeah.
That's a half marathon right there.
I started to get a wee bit of chafing, and I thought, oh, flip, what am I going to do? Got into a wee town called Ards. I needed to use the toilet anyway, right? So I nipped in, went to use the toilet, was washing my hands, and looked up, and there was the answer. Do you know what it was?
No idea.
Hand soap.
Hand soap.
Right?
Hand soap.
Hand soap. I thought to myself, if you don't wash hand soap off, it stays foamy. I thought,
that's true.
Hand soap is, and just so everyone knows, like, got myself sorted, and then I went out running, back out the restaurant. I pumped the hand soap once, didn't go back. I was all good. And then running down the road, it actually worked. So if you're ever stuck and don't have Vaseline, get some hand soap.
Just pop into a restaurant.
Go
to the toilet, get some hand soap.
Use their hand soap. Yeah,
and anyway. Did it work? Did it work the whole rest of the run?
So I was meeting you at Ballywalter, which is from Belfast. The route I ran, I think you're talking, it was maybe about 15 miles. So the next 2 miles, worked a treat and got to Ballywalter and thought to ring Andrew, and I said, Andrew, we're near Ballywalter. Are you nearly here? Whereabouts are you? What's going on? So I'm going to grab a wee cup of coffee. What was your response?
I wasn't in Ballywalter or near Ballywalter.
No. Did you even leave the house?
Was I left the house at that stage?
I don't know if you'd left the house.
I don't know if I had left the house. I don't think I had. I think I should have left the house by then. The plan was to meet you. What time was I meant to meet you at?
Well, the way I'd planned it, I think it was 12:30, because your guys had hockey, and you had to take them to hockey. And then by the time you got back to house, and obviously everything was all prepped.
That's correct. I wasn't sure if it was 1:30 or 12:30. I think I was meant to meet you at 12:30, and I ended up meeting you at 1:30.
Yeah.
Which is an hour after 12:30.
But I was well ahead of schedule, so it was probably my fault. I was running this like it was a half marathon.
You were lightning. I could track you, and you were absolutely lightning. You were talking about 11.5 minute miles. I think you were doing 9.5 minute miles.
Yeah, some of them were closer to 9 minute miles. Yeah. So I probably took off too hot, and I was just enjoying myself too much, and I wasn't hitting loads of hills. It was flat enough this route this week. And then so stopped into Ballywalter, and I thought, I've got time to kill. I could grab a bite to eat. I found a wee cafe, really nice wee cafe, sat down, had a cup of coffee, and I was sitting beside a spar, and I thought, boom, there you go. I'll nip in and I'll get some Vaseline and Snickers. The thing you need halfway through a run. Vaseline and Snickers.
And how many miles was at that stage, roughly?
I think you're talking just over 15. I think you were nearly meeting me, because you were going to have to then do about 18 miles, I think.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that.
No, because
that's longer than a half marathon.
Yeah, I think it was maybe it was 16. Maybe it was 16. You were going to have to do a fair few miles anyway if you had met me there on time. So that would have been interesting.
I'll duly note that for the next run then, won't I?
I'll turn up late, and you were on your way. We're still in contact, and I thought I'll just sauntering down the road. You
said you felt good and you're going to make a start.
Yeah, I had a bit of an ankle issue, so it was able to. I had bandages with me, and I just in the restaurant I sort of taped up one of my left ankle a bit because it was giving me a bit of grief. And I thought, right, I've got another. What was it? I said 18 odd miles to do on a bit of a sore ankle, so it's just stuck a wee bit of tape on it, got it all feeling good again, got a wee bit of a rest, and then just started slowly again, just to build up a bit of pace.
So that was when I met you. I was just about to meet you. But if I go back to my morning now, if you remember in the last podcast, I had went out for an early morning run, and my top tip was to prepare your stuff the night before. Colin, what did I not do the night before for this run?
I'll tell you what you did do.
Go for it.
I think you got your jelly ready, didn't you?
Oh, we'll come to the jelly. You calm down, son. We will come to that
that was
jelly.
the only thing that was ready.
Well, It's funny you should say that. The jelly wasn't even ready because I bought the jelly the morning of the run.
You're kidding.
So I lay into 9 o'clock. The reason being, I was editing this podcast for a few nights in a row, quite late. And I thought I deserve a bit of a lie-in. My son then goes to hockey between 10 and 11. And after 11, I decided I'll pop into the garage, I'll get my jelly, I'll get the kids' lunches or stuff to make a lunch. And the difference between this run and the last run was I was able to do the hockey run, come home, get myself sorted and go out the door within maybe 15 minutes or so. This time it was different because our families were doing something. It's the great thing about this challenge is for some of these days out, our families will come with us. So our families was going to meet us in Portaferry. In Portaferry, there's an aquarium and they were going for a day out there. Your family would go straight there. Mine was leave me off in Ballywalter and then they would drive on down to Portaferry to the aquarium. So it was a nice day out for your family, Colin. It's a nice day out for my family and it's a nice day out for us running. But the difference is, I had to get them lunch and their snacks and all that business. And who knew that takes time to do? That's trying to get your family out the door and packed up takes a lot longer than just you packing up and going out the door. And what made it worse was I had my bag. I talked about my bag in the last episode, but apart from the bag, I didn't even have my t-shirt ready, Colin. I had nothing ready. I didn't have my jelly ready. Again, if you remember in the last podcast, or maybe the last few podcasts, I talked about the jelly, the star of the show from the January run. Again, spoiler alert, at the star of the show of this run. But I got my jelly, my cube of jelly, my bar jelly. I cut it up with scissors. I smothered it in peanut butter and then I smothered that in chocolate, put it in a bag, and I was ready to go off running, albeit an hour late.
I wouldn't advise people to do this with jelly, just so you're aware. From my point of view, it looked like something that you would, if your dog went to the toilet, you would need to go to the vet. It was just...
Well, I'm not going to lie. It was in a sandwich bag and it didn't look great because by the time I met Colin, so I met Colin at around 1:30. You were running away and we were tracking you and my family left me off and it was all good fun and games. And my plan was at the first 5 mile stop, I would eat a cube of jelly. And then every mile after that, I would eat a cube of jelly. But how far into the run, Colin, did I get before I opened my bag of jelly?
I think you were out of the car. You just couldn't wait to get it open. But I think you got out of the car and you were like, wait till you see my jelly. I don't even know if you've said hello to me. It was all about Andy's delight.
It was all about the jelly. I won't lie. I woke up and the first thing I could think about was that cube of jelly. I could not wait to eat my first cube of jelly. So I didn't wait 5 miles, nor 4, 3, 2, 1. I actually waited 0.13 miles, which is literally, what's that?
And we could still see the car that you dropped me off with.
We could still see the car driving into the distance off the road. And I thought, do you want to see the jelly? I'm going to have a bit now. I think I need a bit now. It'll set me off right. Now, by this stage, the chocolate had kind of fallen off and the peanut butter had kind of fallen off. And really all that was left was just a cube of jelly or cubes of jelly. Yeah. And the bottom of the bag was full of peanut butter and chocolate. I did offer you some, but you politely refused time.
No, it just didn't look appetizing. But was a star of this run not your Camelback?
Well, apart from being completely unprepared, I was prepared in terms of getting my bag and the Camelback with the water in it. And in the last run, I ran a complete marathon without a sip of water. And this time, I didn't make that mistake again. I had my bag, I had the water in it, I had my jelly in it. I had emergency jelly too, by the way. I had an emergency bar jelly that never got touched.
You did.
And didn't need my keys because my wife had the keys with her, but I also had a place for a mobile phone. And you know what? You nearly didn't feel like you were running with a bag, and it was one of these, what do you call those hoses on it that you can just drink from?
I would call that some straw. I don't know. Maybe it is a straw.
A straw tube. A tube. A tube. There was a tube, all right. There was a tube in this run, and it was brilliant between the jelly and the water. And this day, Colin, if the last day I could get away without water, couldn't really get away without it this day. Why is that?
We got such a good day, and you got to speak about your food. The night before, I actually made vegan pancakes. Each pancake had 20 grams of carbs in it. And flip, the pancakes were nice. The pancakes were nice.
What's in a vegan pancake now?
Well, you can make them yourself, and it's quite. I think it does sound quite disgusting. So don't quote me in this, okay?
Well, we've just found out about my jelly, so I don't think it'll be any less disgusting than that.
I was speaking to a physio, and he says pancakes on a run, they're full of carbs. They're just really good for a run. Good solid food to eat. Sometimes when you're running loads, and Andrew will tell you, I'm not a big fan of gels. I don't like gels. I don't like the taste of them. They taste like, why does everything taste like washing up liquid to me? It's just they don't taste nice. Anyway, I like solid food. So Andrew brought me a peanut butter and jam, or peanut butter and jelly if you live in America, sandwich, and flip, loved it. These here pancakes, amazing. I got a solid food, which was Snickers. Just solid food, love it. The vegan pancake, you can make them yourself. I bought a pre-made mixture and used that, which actually was really nice. So in for the substance that kind of glues the whole pancake together and just gives it that, the thick, creamy texture, is actually, you ever poured a can of chickpeas out? Have you, Andrew? Would you ever buy chickpeas?
I think I did it once just to make you something.
Just to make,
I believe.
Do you know that liquid that the chickpeas are in?
That goes straight down the drain?
You don't put it down the drain. You put it into a glass and you use that as into your mixture of pancakes.
Really?
Yep. And that's where there's a name for it. I'm gonna actually get you the name.
Rank? Would that be the name of it?
Rank. Chickpea juice.
Chickpea juice.
There's a name for it. That actually Rank probably sounds a bit better. It's a really cool name. It's called Aquafaba.
That is a cool name. I'm going to give you that much. Aquafaba.
Yeah.
That's a good name. It's even fun to say. Aquafaba.
It's Fabula Aqua.
Aquafaba.
Aquafaba.
Wow,
I love it. It's the liquid left over from cooked chickpeas. You can whip it up, and it just becomes like a whipped cream type of.
You can
liquid.
whip it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
It becomes like a creamy texture. So chickpeas are healthy, and some of the nutrients transfer into the water. Protein and fiber don't transfer over, but you still benefit from traces amounts of B vitamins and folate. But I think it just gives you that there creamy texture, thick stuff that you would make for pancakes. Anyway, I didn't do any of that, but there you go. There's a wee tip for anyone who wants to make vegan pancakes.
So you made these the night before, did you?
Made them the night before. I actually made 6 and the boys ate 2. So then I had 4 left. Put them in a wee container, put them in my bag, all ready for tomorrow. I set all my stuff out in the ground and made sure I had everything. Because when I got up, I just wanted...
It's a good tip, Colin. It's a good tip. I'm going to remember that for next time.
I don't know. It was someone wise told me that one. Put your stuff out the night before. But
it's a good tip.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than going, right, I've got a pair of leggings or I've got my t-shirt, right, I'm going to put it on, or you're going to put something that you enjoy. I think we've all got the...
Well, you're running late, you've made the kids' lunches, and then you go to your wife, where's my running t-shirt?
I'm sure that didn't go down well.
Didn't go down as well as you might expect it now, in fairness.
So back to the run. How far did you end up running?
So I met you, and first of all, we got out of the car and the beats were pumping, and they weren't pumping from my car. Where were they pumping from, Colin?
I forgot about that. There's so many wee things I forgot about. So I did this. I was out running. I was on a country road and I didn't want to put headphones on because there's, as I always say, nothing slows down a run faster than getting hit by a car.
It's true.
So in my side pocket of my bag, I would put the music on, put it on full blast, and just play it through the speaker of the phone. Now, it's a wee iPhone, and the speaker's actually pretty reasonable, isn't it?
You know what? It was very, very good. In the last run, there was no music played at all, and in this run, you had the music going the whole way. The whole way. When did you start playing it? Sorry.
It would have been from I left the wee Ballywalter from the restaurant.
So from Ballywalter. So just before I came, you had the music playing and we ran. I'll look up because you asked me the question and I didn't answer it. How far did I run? I'll just look into it now because the music was playing non-stop the whole way, even when we got into Ballywalter, which really was the only, or not Ballywalter, when we got into Portaferry, that was the only town we hit. Yeah, Portaferry, we didn't hit any other towns. Again, it was all country roads, and you said about tractors earlier on.
How many tractors?
We seen more tractors than cars.
Yeah.
Maybe by twofold.
I got sprayed by, I hope it wasn't pesticides, because there was a tractor and it was going so slow that I must have just turned around a wee lane beside it, and me and it were going the same speed the whole way, so I was getting this constant spray, and I was just hoping that it was because it was a dry day and they weren't seeing much rain coming, that they were just watering their crops, and I hope it wasn't pesticide. It would have been a good half a mile of breathing in pesticides.
Which isn't good. Don't do that.
Any
If
flies
you're
I
listening
had
at home.
are gone.
So the distance I ran, and it's also the longest distance I have ever ran in my life, 14.16 miles. 14.16 miles is the longest distance I have ever ran in my life. And we're not doing it for time. We're not setting ourselves goal time, but I was running for 2 hours, 43 minutes, and probably about 5 of those minutes was us standing at a sign for Portaferry taking a few selfies.
Yeah.
So I didn't stop the clock for that or anything. So it was actually quicker than that. But if I look back at the time of the January run, do you know what time I did that in, Colin?
No idea. I didn't even look at my times.
I ran 13.82 miles. And I did it in 2 hours, or we did it in 2 hours, 47 minutes.
2 hours, 47 minutes for how many miles?
So
13.8.
13.82. So we ran further, or I ran further, and I done it 8 minutes quicker. And again, I was with a bit of mucking about in both cases, actually taking selfies and taking it easy at times. So we ran further, and we actually undercut our run by 5 minutes anyway, which is quite impressive. What was your overall distance then, Colin?
My overall distance was, I have to say roughly, because my watch, it would have been 38 miles.
38 miles, and remarkably, that is not your longest ever run.
No.
Where does that rank?
Third. But do you know
Third.
what? I actually was starting to feel niggles halfway through this run, and then my knee was playing up part of the run. But for whatever reason, we ran most of this. There was very little walking in this run, whereas last month there was a big hill, a bit of walking. We did hit a bit of a hill in this one, which even walking was the same pace as what we were running.
But there wasn't much walking, you're right. It was more or less on the go the whole time. And I know last time at mile 10, I really felt it. And I don't know if it was because I was eating jelly earlier in this run, or imagine it, and getting more miles in my legs over the past month. I really felt quite good for this run.
Yeah.
Even up until the end, I didn't feel too bad at all, I have to say, Colin.
Do you know what? I 100% agree with you. I thought running 31 miles was harder than running 38 miles. And
Really?
Yeah, I honestly, but at the end of this run, you said race me, and I was just like, yeah, this run is, and then I ran as fast as I could to the end of the pier.
Well, we did that. We got to the Portaferry pier, and I said, race you now. In fairness, you were maybe about 2.5 meters ahead of me.
Yeah, it was
and you just took off, and I went, and then I really went for it, and I was closing the gap, and then you just went for it again, and I was just...
Yeah,
that's unreal to have that kind of stamina after 38 miles. Unbelievable.
The last 2 miles, you're hitting Portaferry, you're happy.
As soon as you hit Portaferry, you're laughing. You're just, you're not even running. It's like you're running in air, because you know you're in the home stretch. And we were lightning, actually. Never mind the sprint finish. We were lightning that last.
Yeah.
Oh, could have been probably half mile through Portaferry, I would imagine.
But then, see, when you look back at the 31 miles, what did I have to eat? I was drinking my carb juice, which was okay. I was eating a wee bit, my salt tablets, which I always take. But this run, I had 4 pancakes into me, 2 Snickers, a peanut butter and jam sandwich, salt tablets, carb drink, water. So I really was eating food.
Yeah, you were getting your energy, and it was much better, and I was taking water, and amazingly, I didn't even eat all my cubes of jelly, Colin. Can you believe that? I think there was three cubes left.
I'm sure you save them. Save them for the next time. They'll keep, stick them in the fridge.
Well, I went out running today, and I noticed them in my bag, and I thought, it'd be wrong not to.
Did you actually eat them?
No, I didn't. They looked absolutely stinking. I thought a few days later, and in the sun and in the heat, it just didn't look as appealing in this time.
No.
But I did go out for a run today, and we'll get back to that. But as far as the rest of the run, I don't think there was much more to talk about really on that run. It was super, super impressive in terms of you. I felt pretty good. We had the music blaring. We had just a really, really good sunny day. The weather was absolutely fantastic, especially in the morning. I think it got a wee bit cloudier as the day got on, but we did it in a good time. We had a great time. We met the family at the end, Colin, and they seemed to have a great time in Portaferry. And then you hit the road, and my eldest son went with you to have a sleepover.
Yep.
And on the way home, my wife said, "Can we go to IKEA?"
Oh.
And I was feeling that good. Colin. I said yes, and I made a trip around IKEA, which is just what you want to do after 14 miles of running.
But you got the meatballs.
Well, I got meatballs, so I was happy enough.
Yeah.
I said, as long as we get meatballs, and that's the first protocol. And
Do you know what? I actually said to Rachel, Andrew went to IKEA after the run, and it's like the most. I don't know. Maybe other people out there would agree with me. It's like the stupidest thing you would do after a run, or maybe not the stupidest thing. It's something that you would never do after a run, or think, what's the last thing you'd want to do after a long run?
That's true.
That's true.
It was not on my agenda, in fairness.
Go to IKEA?
After my first half marathon, if somebody had said, well, put it this way, there's more chance of me going to A&E rather than going to IKEA after that first half marathon, as you well remember, Colin.
I know you wouldn't be going to IKEA building flat pack furniture.
Not only did we do the top floor of IKEA, every bit of it, we went to the bottom bit.
Wow.
We didn't even take the shortcuts. We went right round the whole shebang.
I think you're allowed
and out the other side.
You're allowed to stick on an extra mile or two for that alone. Surely. It's no small task to run 14 mile. 14 mile is a substantial distance. Not
when you put it against 38, you done double that.
Yeah, I know, more than double.
And then some. I know then some.
Double then a fair bit more. When you say, "Oh, I done 38 and you done 14," it maybe doesn't sound as impressive. But see in a marathon,
that's because it's not.
But see in a marathon when you're running a relay, everyone wants to do the short leg, and you're talking 4 mile, and people are going, "Oh, flip, I get the 6 or 7 mile leg." But you did double what people dread to do in a marathon relay team. I was listening to something, and they were saying like, whenever you run 5 miles, 10 miles seems like flip. That's a lot. Whenever you run 10 miles, you're thinking, "Oh, half marathon. That seems like a lot." Whenever you do a half marathon, you think, flip, a marathon seems like a lot. You start hitting these milestones, and then the next jump, whenever you do it, you're like, it's really not that far.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because at the start of the year, I was running 3 miles on the run up to the run, the first one, the January run. I started doing 5 miles. 3 miles doesn't seem much now. 5 miles doesn't seem that much now. So I know what you mean. 14 miles probably doesn't seem that much compared to you. So I can understand where you're coming from there.
If you signed up for a half marathon today, you'd walk into it tomorrow going, I can do a half marathon. Whereas the last time you did a half marathon, you finished it going, flip, that was tough.
Couldn't went to IKEA that day, Colin.
Yeah, that's true. But do you know the first time I ever finished a half marathon? I finished it and I thought, how do people, like, imagine turning around and going back and doing that all over again?
Exactly what I thought.
How do people do that?
But you can see it, actually. You can see the progression of it.
And you just don't realise what you're doing, and then...
Not saying I'm going to do it, but I can see it.
I can see it. How many cubes of jelly would you need for 38 miles?
Oh my goodness, the emergency jelly of a going. Just so you know, the last time it was strawberry. This time it was true to my word. It was raspberry jelly, but the backup jelly was strawberry jelly, just to get that out there.
Well, no, you have to have a backup. You have to stick to what you know. You tested the raspberry. It could have gone wrong, and then you still had the strawberry in your pocket. No chocolate, no nothing. Just good old school taking a chunk.
Didn't cut it up straight there. On saying that, I don't know if I'll smother it in peanut butter and chocolate next time. My gut feeling is I'll not do that, because it was very messy and all kind of...
No.
It didn't stick to it, which I have to say, I've a lot more appreciation for Turkish Delight now. Turkish Delight here in Northern Ireland, certainly. You get Fry's Turkish Delight, you get your Turkish Delight, which is, I don't know what that magical stuff is inside, some kind of form of jelly with the chocolate on the outside, and the chocolate sticks to the jelly. But my chocolate or peanut butter did not stick. So I've got more of an appreciation for the Fry's Turkish Delight, because the chocolate sticks to their Turkish Delight jelly.
They probably have a factory and they have it pre-done.
Oh, they've got it down. They've got the recipe down. They know they're no amateurs. They know what the crack is, Colin.
They don't wake up late because they've been doing a podcast, try to get their kids to hockey, and then get back home and go, oh, flip, I have to make some peanut butter, chocolate jelly, and
Cut it up in scissors.
and break out the scissors. Meanwhile, probably doing this topless, you probably look like some sort of Colombian heroin person standing in your kitchen cutting up jelly.
And everyone said it was topless. I don't know where that came from.
You couldn't find your top?
Find my t-shirt. Yeah, that doesn't mean it was running about topless. It just means I couldn't find my t-shirt before it got changed.
Sorry, I because it was a hot day, I have this image of Andrew in a sweatshop.
Well, we're saying it was a hot day. It wasn't like Spain hot or something like that.
Chopping up jelly.
Couldn't even find my hat, Colin. I had my wee hat on, but I didn't have my cap. You said, where's sunscreen? And I went upstairs, completely forgot why I went upstairs, came back down, only forgot about it when it was 3 miles down the road. So I didn't wear sun cream or anything. But in terms of recovery, last time we did a run, I think I must have took a full week off before I started running. I wasn't going to run the Sunday. I could have run on the Monday, definitely on the Tuesday, and I hoped to run on the Tuesday, but I didn't. And then today I ran, and it was a good run, Colin. I don't think I told you this earlier.
How far?
6.91 miles.
6.
And the pace.
0.9?
6.91, right? And the pace, 8 minutes, 51 seconds.
You had never done that before?
Never would have done that. That is, for me, and it's all relative, that was lightning. I couldn't believe it. But I felt good doing that run.
That's impressive, because before you say, oh, flip, Colin, that's lightning, I'm going, that's just casual sort of running. Like my pace hasn't really ever got fast. I wouldn't say, Andrew, I was a fast runner, but I can run a good distance.
So I'm just looking at a January 4th run of this year, 3.14 miles. What was my pace?
9.5 minute miles.
9:47.
Flip me.
So when did you say you've already had a run this week?
Yeah, so last month I took the first week off thinking, right, I'm going to do that. But then this month I thought I just need to keep going, because just get my runs in when I can and get my strength training, and the gym work I can always fit in, because I can do that before work. I can do it after work. I can do it in the evening. The gym work I can always fit in at some shape or form. I can do it with lunch. I can always fit that in throughout the day. But when it comes to running, you have to get a shower afterwards, and you have to be away to the house, and it takes a wee minute longer in the gym. So I would go to the gym and do stretching and all that stuff. But yeah, so I've been for a run today. So I did 7.5 miles today, and it wasn't even as fast as you. It was 9 minutes, 9-minute miles or something.
In fairness, I'm not normally that fast. I don't have a clue what was going. And again, that was with my bag on with some water.
I think, once again, I was just listening to a podcast and I was just enjoying myself. But do you know what? The 7.5 mile finished, and I do not know where it went. 9 minutes, 21 miles. 7.5 miles.
Same here. I didn't even expect to be running as long as I had. I was enjoying it, and I went on, and absolute madness.
Anyway, so I think that is enough for this week, Andrew. What do you think?
I think it is. The next episode,
something special. Going to be something special.
It is something special, because normally we have the past 2 episodes we've done like kind of our plan or our training, and then we've had the actual run days. But the next episode is special, because what are we going to be talking about then, Colin?
We were chatting about it the other day, and as Andrew says, I think it'll be more interesting. Why are we doing this challenge? Well, for me, it's my redemption for Mizzen-de-Malin. And what is Mizzen-de-Malin? It's running 350 miles over 9 days. I attempted last year.
So Mizzen-de-Malin is the length of Ireland. So it's the very bottom of Ireland to the very tip of Ireland. The very bottom of Ireland is called Mizzenhead. And the very top is Malin-Head. So in the next podcast, we are going to be talking about part 1, because I really think it is a kind of a part 1, part 2 type of story, because there's so much that's in it, and we're going to be learning all about Colin's attempt at running the length of Ireland, and that's going to be very exciting.
And do you know what I probably, not to sound bad, but what I did wrong, and what I'm correcting, and what I suppose what you learned from the stuff you do wrong. A lot of funny stories along the way. Except Andrew, it could be a 3-parter because the way I can talk.
Could be 3.
Could be 3.
And later in the year, we're hoping to have a guest, maybe 1 or 2, but certainly 1 guest, hopefully. So we've got lots coming up in the podcast this year. Yes, we're going to continue by doing our runs. We're going to break down our runs, but in between those run podcasts, hopefully you've got a lot of fun episodes to come.
Yeah.
So until the next time, Colin, my name's Andrew.
My name's Colin.
And this is Idiots
Go Running.
You didn't say that very enthusiastically, Colin, but you did say it at least.
That wasn't bad, was it?
It wasn't great, but at least you said it and it did the job. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for that one, Andrew. I need it.